to Oilers Nation every day with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
My super scientific look at the last 10 days of being an Oilers fan. As you can see, the chart goes from we're back to we're fucked. And it's been a little up and down. Let's get into it with the lead. Now, Liam, down here, that's the loss to Washington. I considered that a low point. OT loss to Tampa, got us up a little bit. Win over Florida. We were back. We said that was the turning point of the season.
Yeah.
Stayed on that plateau for a couple days. We're excited to be back on home ice. Lost to Dallas down there. Maybe should have seen that one coming a little bit more. Trade talk last week. Thought Stuart Skinner was gone. All the way back up. Oilers beat the Seattle Kraken 4-0 and are only 4 points out of first place in the Pacific Division. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Hey?
Who'd have thunk it? But here we are. After saying all week that the Oilers were going to trade Stuart Skinner. Which we had intel.
We had intel.
We had true intel that was like negotiations going on.
Yeah, there's a reason we aren't insiders.
Yeah. Probably
sometimes we're right, though.
Sometimes we are right. So is a broken clock.
Yep.
1 second, I'm just drugging up so I don't breathe down these mics all show.
Why didn't you take that?
I kind of forgot.
Makes sense. Anyways, welcome into the show, everybody. We are live from the Sports Closet studio. Check them out online, sportscloset.ca. It is time to get your Christmas shopping going. The sports fan in your life, they would love it if you got them a gift from the Sports Closet. Let me just go. Let's say I have a sports fan in my life who's maybe they're a Detroit Lions fan, like my friend Liam.
Poor guy.
I go to Sports Closet. I click on Detroit Lions. I see all the great stuff they have. Maybe he needs a new Shepo. Oh, maybe you would like this, Liam. A Lego Detroit Lions helmet that you could build.
Sure, I'm going to need something to do when everyone's playing playoff games.
Yeah.
So that might be handy.
I actually think that's a pretty cool looking thing there.
They just have all the 2026 NFC North Champion shirts, and they're just all $5.
Yeah.
Or ship away is what they say.
Ship away.
God, what a terrible team. We were talking before the show to give people a little insight behind the scenes. Obviously, the Olympics are coming up.
Yeah. What should we do?
So we saw over the weekends our great friends Ben Hebert and Mark Kennedy qualified for the Olympics. Also, they are Team Alberta, so shout out to those guys.
Shout out Team Alberta.
Brad Jacobs and what's his first name? Gallant. Brad
Gallant.
Brad Gallant. Qualified being Dunstone, who, did you watch?
I didn't catch it.
God, poor Dunstone. He's the Manitoba skip.
Yeah.
And they are basically just the second best team, and there's no doubt about it, because they always lose to Brad Jacobs or whoever else decides to win the Brier that year. He was devastated, but we're trying to think of a guest we could have on during the Olympics to kind of help us with Olympic coverage. Mm-hmm. We were looking at hockey players, obviously.
Carl Stollery, if anyone knows him, tell him we're thinking of him.
Or Corbin Knight, maybe.
Corbin Knight. These are both guys who played Olympic hockey for Team Canada in the last 2 Olympics.
Yeah, so we're trying to think of guys from there, but maybe they could be a non-hockey player too, if anyone knows anybody.
A non-hockey player who could talk hockey.
Yeah, like we want to cover the Olympics.
Yeah. If you know an Olympian, hockey or non-hockey, let us know.
Or even if you don't know the Olympian directly,
but you just like them.
You think there's, I see this guy, they might be good. That would work.
Mm-hmm. Jake Wallman is in the chat. There's some good comments here that I want to get to. Need to tell people, by the way, that the show's a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Lots for us to get to today. We're obviously going to break down the point in our vibes meter here, the win over the Seattle Kraken up here. We'll maybe have some film. We'll break down a couple of goals, talk about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Dave Pagnotta is going to swing by and join us. He's going to be actually on the show in like 10 minutes. So we're going right off the hop with Mr. Pagnotta. We got a Spotify question, and we'll do a little what's trending later on as well. But yes, don't worry, lots of Oilers talk. YouTube chat. Always good to catch up with you guys. Jake Wallman said 50% accuracy on intel. You're either right or wrong. Yeah, I mean, based on that, every day there's a 50% chance Stuart Skinner will get traded because he either will or won't. That's how probability works.
That's exactly how probability works. Also, too, these insiders are wrong. Fairly. They spoke about it more than we did. The Jarry stuff?
Yeah, and we'll talk to Pagnotta about it because I don't think that's dead either.
I don't think he's dead either.
But Friedman changed his tune on Saturday. I will add that.
Yeah, he did.
Which I think is a pretty, from what we've heard, like a pretty obviously it's Elliot Friedman. A pretty accurate representation of what happened behind the scenes. I do think the Oilers were legitimately considering, and we're, I don't know about down to the wire, but they were considering doing a Stuart Skinner, Tristan Jarry, some sort of trade. It's fallen apart. Maybe the Oilers just kind of said, you know what? Gun to our head. We're not ready to do something that is maybe a lateral move, involves us committing to money down the line, all of that stuff. Like, maybe the conversation's just cooled because of that. Stuart Skinner gets a shutout, and you go, hey, maybe we can buy ourselves a little bit more time here.
Yeah, maybe. Not being so rash. Maybe the exact deal they wanted wasn't on the table.
There, yeah.
So,
maybe Pittsburgh said, you know, we're in a playoff spot. Like, we can't trade you this guy or that guy in the deal. Like, we need to wait a little bit.
Yeah, so we kind of need Pittsburgh to start losing, but ironically keep winning at the same time. Maybe losing Jarry's not. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, lose 2-1.
Everyone was complimenting Lance on his great article. If you want to read, Lance Kane wrote a guest from the audience article on Oilersnation.com about his experience at the autograph event.
Yeah, it was actually really good. Well done, Lance.
Yeah, Lance, you did good. Lance made us laugh fully out loud. Like, we were dying with the comment of, for my next article, I'm thinking of doing a piece of what it's like to live in Tyler's shed. Which just very funny, Lance. That's good.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, there you go. You can read it. We linked it in the chat. They watched the 7-pass Jarry that night after the Skinner shutout. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing, too. Jarry's coming off a bit of a poor performance. But
goalies are goalies.
Goalies are goalies. Goalies have good games. Goalies have bad games. The chances of that, again, probability, there's a 50% chance a goalie will have a good game, a 50% chance they'll have a bad game. But yeah, I mean, Jarry didn't have a good game against Toronto, gave up 3 on 13 shots, came in relief of Artur Silovs. But I think this goes back to, and we've had this conversation about coaches before. If you're the Oilers and you're waiting to do a Tristan Jarry, Stuart Skinner trade, and you're just like, oh, we got to wait till Skinner has a bad game, then we'll do it. Just do the damn trade, right? Like, if the leash is that short, you obviously don't trust the guy, so what are you waiting for? I do think Clapper makes a good point. And buy some time. Call up Ingram in January and see what they got. We've been on that train for a while as well, kind of saying, like, you know, they did this Ingram thing. Why have it all be for naught? Why not just wait until Ingram is somewhat ready to go and then pull the trigger?
Yeah.
That's your free bullet.
You got to fire it at some point. I mean, hopefully, like, best case scenario, both goalies just continue to find their way and they get really on track and everything's good. And you don't have to worry about Ingram. Maybe you call him up for the odd game here or there. But, like, if the goalies aren't playing well, that means the Oilers are losing games. And obviously, none of us want that. We all want the Oilers to win hockey games on a night-to-night basis or at least put together a solid performance. So, yeah, we need to see if Pickard can find his way like he did the last start. And also, too, Pickard came in against Dallas and played fairly well, to his credit. I know the game was almost out of hand at that point, but the 2 goals that he allowed, the 5th and 6th goal, were obviously both on the 5-on-3 power play against. So, I don't know. Maybe Pickard has turned a bit of a corner here. I still fully support the statements we made last week of, like, if there is a deal out there to improve your goaltending tandem, you have to do it. And you also do it on your blue line, and you also do it with your forward group. 1% better is still 1% better.
I agree. I think that there's an asset component to that as well, though, is what I'd add.
Sure.
Right? Like, I mean, if you can get 1% better, but it's costing you a 2nd-round pick, okay, don't get 1% better. It needs to be, and I think that's kind of what Friedman was saying, too, is like, they maybe aren't inclined to do a lateral move to the level that he thought they were, but I don't know. We'll get into that with Pagnotta. I think that's a good kind of conversation to save for him. Oh, is he here? Following up on my question. Pagnotta will be here in like 5 minutes. Let's quickly, though, let's do a little game recap. We'll maybe get deeper into a couple of things later, but we have a couple minutes before our guest is here. Our game recap is brought to you by our friends at Greta, our go-to party spot downtown Edmonton. Arcade, bar, street food, a night out on the weekend. Maybe you just want somewhere to watch the game during the week. Fantastic spot, 10 out of 10. We love our friends at Greta. The return of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was, he made his presence felt in this one, Liam.
It was everything.
Listen, I'm not going to call that win a belt-to-ass win, as the kids would say. I don't fully view it as that, but you have a guy in Ryan Nugent-Hopkins who returns to the lineup, and there were some pivotal moments in that hockey game when it was still close, Edmonton goes down on a 5-on-3 in the first period when the game is at that point only 1-0. It's only 1-0 because of a Ryan Nugent-Hopkins goal as well, which we're going to take a peek at here. But Nuge, his presence felt early. He scores the goal to put them up 1-0. Right there. One of those classic Oilers power play plays where you're sitting there being like, shoot the goddamn puck. I wanted Connor to shoot that one. I wanted Bush to shoot that one. And then it's in the back of the net. Joey Decord had no shot on this one. Some excellent puck movement by one of the best power plays in the NHL. And it is no coincidence that when Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is around, the power play is better.
Do you know, when he was out, obviously Jack Roslovic was on there.
And he was good.
And ironically, the only guy that was scoring on it, too, to be honest. But it does make a difference with Nuge. He's just a different flavor. And you think of this is the first time this season we've seen this group of 5 who were the greatest power play in NHL history.
Correct. That's a great point.
And what did they end up going? They get 2 goals on the night, if I'm not mistaken?
Yep.
It worked well. There's a reason they're the best. And we always talk about is like, should they mix in guys? Should the second units get a bit more time? I think you see stuff like this, like, nah. Let's just let these guys run for 2 minutes, and minute again, 45, whatever, and then we'll see if we get a goal or we don't.
It's your superpower, so lean into it, right? Yeah. That's why we'll never criticize them for winning games off the back of their power play, because it's something they have that very few teams have.
Well, yeah.
And part of, as much as we can sit there and say Jack Roslovic looks good on that top unit and all of that stuff, this is just a prime example of they speak the same language, right? They're so comfortable. They know where each other are. They've had so many reps. That's a goal that Jack Roslovic doesn't score because I don't know if he's in that spot or if Bush trusts knowing that he's in the right spot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a chemistry side of it all, for sure.
So special teams dominates the early portions of this game because not only are the Edmonton Oilers 1-for-1 on the power play, they also took 4 minor penalties in the opening period. One of them lingered into the second period, but regardless, Edmonton kills all of them off. Part of it from some great PK work. When they were down 5-on-3, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was on the ice for basically the whole 90 seconds of that 5-on-3, and they killed it off.
He ate a puck on a block shot at the top. He does everything.
Yeah. So again, penalty kill, awesome. Oilers are up 1-0. They get to the second period. I was growing a little bit tired of watching them just aimlessly cycle around the perimeter. And it's like, God damn it, you guys are some of the best hockey players in the world. You have some of the best shooters in the entire NHL. Why do you not like shooting the puck? And right on cue, Leon Draisaitl decides to shoot the puck as he cuts into the middle of the ice. And no, he gets it back eventually. It'll come back. Or is this a Skinner save we're watching? Oh, no,
come back. Emerson up the ice.
Mangiapane makes one of his few good plays, and boom. Like, you watch Leon Draisaitl do that on a good goalie like Joey Decord, and you're like, hey, man, shoot the puck more. Like, he can score 60 goals if he decides to shoot the puck more. It just feels like sometimes he's not in the mood to shoot.
Yeah, but also, too, they got the puck into the middle of the ice. And like you said, there's been too many times we've seen it. We saw it in this game when Mangiapane tried to pass it back to Draisaitl, who had already drove to the net. But yeah, just a guy who does need to shoot the puck more. And it's ironic we say this again because he's like second or third in the league in goals for or whatever Leon is. But still, you want to see more from him because it's frustrating because he's like, oh, you are one of the best scorers in the NHL. But I really did like this line. I thought this line actually played a pretty decent game from my eyes.
2-0 Oilers. They get a power play late in the period. And again, the beauty of this Oilers team is that their power play is a strength, and when it's on, it can deliver like back-breaking moments. And Zach Hyman putting them up 3-0 late in the second, it was a backbreaker. Like, Seattle is not nearly dangerous enough offensively to come back from that kind of a deficit. The Oilers were playing some really good hockey, and the power play comes through. Late in period, Nuge, beautiful feed. Leon Draisaitl was looking for Connor McDavid backdoor, and Zach Hyman's skate got in the way, but we call that a happy accident.
A happy accident. Because look where he is.
In front of the net.
In front of the net. It's a crazy concept.
Whoa.
The Oilers have struggled with many times this season, but
if you go to the net,
sometimes
you get good bounces.
Sometimes good things happen, and is it a lucky goal? Extremely. But he's in the right position to score goals, and that's how Zach Hyman has made a career for himself. Not quite going off his skates, but lingering around the net, and sometimes you get the lucky bounce.
Connor McDavid scored a beauty to make it 4-0, and the Oilers walk away with a shutout victory over the Seattle Kraken. Stuart Skinner goes a perfect 26 for 26. His save percentage is up to an .885.
That's got to be average, right?
What is league average?
He might have... No. Would he have brought up league average? I don't know.
I don't think so. League average is 897. So touch below it. Calvin Pickard's down there somewhere too.
What's that league average goals against average?
2.8.
I think it was at 3.05 after last game.
2.84 is league average.
Okay, so we're not too far off.
Yeah.
We're right around it. What about Pickard? He's still nothing?
I could do the math on how many straight saves they each have to make to get to 100. Obviously, Skinner bit into his a little bit, but I think he's still at I think he needs 105 straight still to get to 900. So
maybe
long road ahead for Stu.
For Cal.
Well, for both. Yeah. They're both north of 100 straight saves.
Yeah, both north of 100.
When I did the math Thursday on Real Life, I think combined, if you alternated starts based on how many shots against the Oilers on average give up, the Oilers would need to alternate starts from Pickard and Skinner and get 10 straight shutouts to have them both at 900.
That's why it's a what have you done for me lately stat.
Yep. And that's why we use the quality start meter, which Stuart Skinner gets a big old thumbs up for that one.
Two of his last 3 starts, big thumbs up.
That's why the Oilers aren't trading for... And, you don't get analysis like this in any of our competitors.
No.
An old picture of Stuart Skinner with a clip art thumbs up. He played well, and he earned every part of this. So good job, Stu. Is our guest here?
But does it matter? But, you played well. Well done. You did it. You got through that one game.
And we're going to keep trying. We're going to take it one game at a time with Stu.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
That's what that seems like they're doing too.
Well, let's keep that conversation going and get out to the Star Mechanical guest line. It's Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca. As we welcome in Dave Pagnotta from the fourth period and the DFO Rundown Insider Edition every week on the DFO YouTube. The Oilers are kind of game to game with the goaltending, right? As much as that's maybe foolish, it feels like where we're at.
Yeah, pretty much. Game to game with the goaltending, game to game with the D, overall team defense. It's a game by game team right now. And on the bright side, you got Seattle coming up in a few days, so you get to do that all over again potentially, which is I guess nice.
Might help with the path back to getting one of them to 900. We spent a lot of time last week and reading the tea leaves around, various reports in the league. It seems like there was some legitimate smoke to the Jarry thing last week and the Oilers' interest there. What was your read on that situation?
The indications that I got was, whatever, that there were some discussions, but I don't. Honestly, I don't think it really got anywhere other than the inquiry phase, maybe a level above. But I've been saying it, for the last few weeks with you guys. I don't see a scenario where anything is going to happen with the goaltending from an impactful perspective anytime soon. And I think everybody needs to start accepting that. I know it's wishful thinking that, okay, well, maybe now there's this guy, maybe now there's that guy. Can we finagle something? Can we figure something out? You don't have the money. You have the money. You don't have the cap space. So I'm going to look to other areas on this team. And I'm seeing people popping up on X and social and whatnot and just saying, well, if you just get Henrique to waive and then you trade Skinner and you trade this guy and all of a sudden we have $10 million in cap space. Do you not think that Bowman and everybody have tried different ways of looking at it? I don't want, I don't want to be a dick, but I'm sorry. It's not that easy. They've looked at ways to create additional cap space and to make these types of moves, but it's just not in the cards right now. Does that change in a month or two? Maybe. But, I'm sure they've had discussions and reached out because that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's why you're the GM. You've got to handle the day-to-day. You got to stay in the know. So, Kyle Dubas, what's the price tag for Jarry? Cool. Barry Trotz. What are the chances of you even considering moving Saros? No? Okay. Moving on. What about Doug Armstrong? Hey, Binnington available? Hofer? No? Not really? You don't like any of our stuff? Okay, fine. Moving on. That's where we are right now with the goaltending, and better team defense, better depth typically helps, as we saw the last couple of games.
It's funny you say that just like GMs calling. It's like the whole conversation of like, oh, look how many pro scouts are at this game tonight. It's like, yeah, they have. That's kind of the point.
It's kind of their job.
They
scout
go
pros.
to games and GMs call the GMs. It's like, hey, like, what's the deal? Right? That's basically what it is.
It's a combo. I love doing it. I love putting up the scouts that attend because people lose their shit.
Oh yeah.
and in two ways. One, they're like, oh, something's got to be up. And on the other side of the spectrum, it's obviously they're doing their jobs, dummy. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get a rile out of a lot of people. I love doing that. It's fantastic. But a lot of times, yeah, they're doing their jobs because they got a game to play against this team in a week, and they want to see how these guys are looking. But also, when you're engaged in those discussions, you want to deploy your people. Just make sure you've got a proper idea as to how they are in the now, how they playing these last few games. Seems like it's good. The highlights look good. The video looks good. How do these guys look when they meet the eye test? And that's why these guys go out there. That's why you see AGMs sometimes and GMs and, the scouts and VP of hockey ops and all that stuff kind of roaming around because they just want to get that first look analysis to go as part of it. But, probably 60% of the time, it's the scouts just scouting.
I was going to ask about Brossoit.
You should ask about Brossoit. I think it's a great question.
He's coming back, obviously, however long he's been out. What's it been, 18 months, whatever it is? Yeah. He's making he's going to play this week, is he not? But what also on top of that, what does the future hold for him in Chicago? That's becoming a bit of a logjam there too, no?
Yeah, they don't have a place for him. Not with the big club. Now he's got a $3.3 million cap hit. He'll get his conditioning stint this week and play a few games. To try to see how obviously he does, and in game situations, totally different, obviously, than practice. So he had two pretty crappy injuries that he had to deal with over these last 18 months, and he's kind of getting back slowly into the swing of things. Needs the game action. I think that will be a big determining factor as to when he gets moved. All these scouts, they're going to deploy over to wherever the heck I completely Rockford. I forgot.
Yeah, Rockford.
Right. So they'll go over there to get that firsthand look and take a look and see how he's doing and does he meet the eye test, and then they'll report back, and then the Hawks will have to figure things out and what they want to do there. But $3.3 million cap hit, boy.
So is there a scenario?
Edmonton.
Yeah. Well, is there a scenario where Chicago helps him out a little bit here? It's like, look, we'll retain some money for you to go, or we'll mutually agree to terminate a contract so you become a free agent. Anything on those lines?
I like that you're bringing that up because he had a signing bonus. So his salary this year is only $2.3 million. And we've seen, Brandon saw it last year. There's been a couple guys this year who put up their hand and are like, let's terminate this thing. It's a contract year for him. It's the last chance for him to save his NHL career, I think.
Yeah, that's probably going to be like the the last resort situation where he's going, all right, look, trade. We don't want to retain on this contract. We're not really getting much value back for you. There's really no market from a trade side of things. So let's just wash our hands and call it a day. And you're right, getting the bonus, getting that money up front, that doesn't get that, that's his money. He's not returning that money. So whatever happens over these next, I'd say maybe 2 weeks, unless the team gets totally desperate and they need help in net right away, that might speed up the process. But I could certainly see that going back in that direction, going in that direction with respect to, terminating a deal if a deal isn't in place. Because I don't get the sense that Chicago, and they've got a lot of money, they could do it, but I don't get the sense from a business perspective, hockey perspective, that they really want to buy out, retain on that 3.3 hit.
Yeah. And again, if someone was willing to take it at full board, why would they? It's not like they're in the business of wanting to help the Edmonton Oilers or anything else like that. There's been kind of a notion floating around. And like you mentioned, a significant move might not happen until the summer. And listen, I had this take a month ago, and Jay kind of called me crazy, and Liam, you and I had a good debate about it. But this might be a step back year for the Oilers. And I feel like we've talked to you about it before too, but I don't know, not every year can be a burn the boats type of year. And I do worry, if St. Louis is sitting there going, yeah, we'll give you Binnington, give us your first round pick. Well, shit, I'll wait till July and I'll trade my first round pick for UC Saros. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and you're right. We did talk about this a few weeks ago, a month ago.
We did.
Something like that where, I kind of thought, I didn't think it was going to be to this extent. I thought this was going to be a year of regression for the Oilers, and then really big upswing 2027. And I still believe that now. There's going to be, and you don't want to wait. Obviously, you'd love to be able to do something, but you're kind of handcuffed because no one's helping you. I think they're going to have a very big offseason. So, for now, you try to bandage it as much as you can. Not window dress, but just bandage it. So, I think the addition of Clattenberg fills that physicality void that they didn't have at the start of the season. They're healthier now, getting Nuge back. I'm curious to see how long this 1-2-3 up the middle goes before they slot him on the wing if they need to. If it's working for now, you keep rolling with it. But to make those impact moves that you want to make, you just can't do it because of the cap. So I expected this team to take a step back, still be a playoff team, but take a step back this season and then catapult themselves back to where they were the last couple of years next season. We'll see if that trajectory holds true, but it's looking at least this season like, they have taken some steps back. And it's a combination as well of, not having certain pieces in the lineup, but also just playing a shit ton of hockey the last couple of years. Look how banged up the Panthers are. And they went 3 years in a row, and they've lost guys throughout the middle of the season. Now they're a deeper team, and that's helped balance things out the last couple of years. But this year, look where they are in the East right now. They're going to get some help back because Tkachuk's going to be back later on this month by all accounts. So that'll help. And it's very curious that they did not put Barkov on season-ending LTIR. So they're going to take their chances in the playoffs again if they get there. But Edmonton, I just felt was a bit of a different beast. And again, this is where they are right now. They got some housekeeping done by getting Ekholm signed and obviously getting McDavid signed and getting Wallman on that extension. But I think the other elements that they'd like to do, there's just not an easy solution to do them right now, which is why I'm fully expecting a busy June and July.
And I'm not saying punt. And I feel like sometimes when people hear, hear us say it's not an all-in year or whatever, they're like, that's unacceptable. You have Connor McDavid. No, go trade some second and third round picks at the deadline. If there's a defenseman you like, go get him. If there's a forward you like, go get him. If a goalie pops up, you explore every avenue. I'm just saying you aren't in full-on desperation mode this year, and I think some people need to accept that. There'll be a playoff team, and any playoff team with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on it has a shot at going on a run, and who knows if this is just the year where you get some extra breaks, but I just don't want to see them. They did the Adam Henrique deal. They did Ekholm had terms, so he was a little bit different, but the Henrique deal was a pure rental because he was a pending UFA. Let's give up a first-round pick for a guy who's probably only going to help us for 3 months. I don't think they need to do that this year.
Correct. I agree with you. I think that's purposely going all in, I think, is a next season move. Yep. I think now it's situational. You don't have to make those types of moves. You don't have to be desperate in that regard. And desperate being, wanting to go all in because you feel like you got to strike while the iron's hot. It's a little bit different this season with this group. But to your point, if an opportunity pops up, they go on a heater, and suddenly you get closer to the trade deadline, and this team's battling for second, for example, or third in the Pacific, and you have an opportunity to bring in a shutdown defenseman, for example, and the opportunity cost is reasonable. Obviously, they're going to explore that. Any team would in that scenario, in that situation. But in terms of just right out of the gate being I'm pushing all my chips in, I didn't feel like this was going to be the year for that, but doesn't mean they're not going to be a tough team to play against in the second half of the season.
I have one last question, and I already know what your answer is going to be, but people want to know, and I want to know, and it's been a lot of smoke, but the Darnell Nurse thing seems to be way more in conversation than it ever has before. And I know he's not getting traded. But do you suspect there's maybe an idea of what if he wasn't an Edmonton Oiler much longer?
I think that that topic, that storyline, that theme has been brought up a little bit more often because you're hearing all of these Binnington chatter and Jarry chatter and what about Saros? The only thing that makes sense on the outside is, well, you got to waive somebody's got to waive their no trade, no movement clause. We got to free up money somehow. Darnell Nurse. Has to be. Like, that's the only reason why I think, because I haven't heard that by any stretch they're even considering that possibility right now. Now, I don't hear everything, obviously, but usually you get some kind of whisper of something of that magnitude kind of coming out. I haven't heard that, not yet. So I think it's more because people are trying to connect dots and correlate one storyline to another. But I just don't see a scenario where that's realistic right now.
Okay.
Boone Jenner, you wanted to ask about him too?
Oh, yeah. You mentioned Boone Jenner the other day. Tyler, a former Columbus Blue Jackets fan.
I love Boone Jenner. I love Rick Nash back
really
in the
wants
day.
Boone Jenner. Is that a real possibility for the Oilers one day?
It depends where they're at later on in the season. So, Donnie Waddell told us last week that they're going to have all their contract talks in February with all their pending UFAs and RFAs. Depending where they are in the standings, if they're on the outside looking in come the Olympic break, and within that time period, they may feel it may be better to move him and generate assets than trading him out. Than re-signing him. So trading him out instead of that. If it gets to that point, I think hands down the Oilers at least inquire to find out what the hell the price tag is, because that caliber player, that's the intangible piece that can keep up with what you've got as your star power. And I would be surprised if the Oilers, if they're fully in playoff contention at that point, wouldn't at least inquire. I think 10 other teams will, if that's the case. But that's the caliber of player that I think, be it now, maybe he hits free agency, I would go after him personally to fit that top six. That's the kind of player I think the Oilers need within their top six. And that would be a target for me. But we won't know anything close to that until February.
Yeah. It's a bunch of teams in wait and see mode again. It's December 1 right now. Anyways, Dave, as always, appreciate your time. Thank you for popping on, and we'll chat with you again next week.
Can't wait, boys. See ya.
Bye.
Maybe the Oilers will have like 4 wins on home ice, and how high could the vibes get? Be like up there.
I'd have to get another board.
Yeah, we're going to need a bigger whiteboard, Jay. Anyways.
What's their schedule this week?
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday for the Edmonton Oilers. They are back on home ice tomorrow night. Aaron will have our pre- and post-game coverage, as always. But tomorrow against Minnesota, the red-hot Minnesota Wild. The Oilers likely going to have to deal with Jesper Wallstedt. I don't know if you know this.
It's confirmed already.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they be playing him? He has 3 shutouts in his last 5 games.
I've heard.
He stopped 39 of 41 against the Colorado Avalanche. He's really good. I feel like if the Oilers had a chance in the draft to pick a guy like that one day, that'd be cool as hell.
How's Xavier Bourgault doing?
You mean Ruby Jarventi?
Yeah, who would you rather have? Yeah, guys, we get it.
Yeah.
The Oilers probably should have drafted that guy.
Probably.
We probably could have drafted Spencer Knight instead of Philip Broberg.
Yep, probably.
I think this one obviously stings a little bit more
because you traded down, and everyone was saying pick the goalie.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Especially because he was picked in the 2021 draft, and I know I saw some people being like, "But you had Stuart Skinner, you didn't."
They took a goalie that year anyway.
They did.
You take a goalie every single draft.
Yeah. And also, they were like, oh, they have Stuart Skinner, but Stuart Skinner had played 1 game in the NHL at that point. He was still largely an unknown. I guess he had some, American.
They also had that. Konovalov was another guy they had,
and they thought they had something in him. And,
yeah, you could walk around it a little bit. It's understandable in a way why you didn't do it, but I always just come back to it's you don't draft based off what you have. You should draft the best available.
Well, especially in hockey, 100,000% of the time.
Football, basketball is a bit different.
Because the player is going to jump in and be in the lineup. If the NHL's draft age was 22, I mean, shit. If the NHL's draft age was 22, Jesper Wallstedt probably goes top 5 overall by that point, right? You talk about being able to pick guys when they're a little bit older. like, yeah, it would change things, but like there's so much projection involved in the NHL. You don't know how the pieces you have are going to age. You don't know how, a guy that you're maybe picking for need over picking best player available, you don't know how they're going to age, right? Like, I don't know.
I also think this was obviously the COVID draft as well. So it was a bit like who's who. I think when you go back and look through that draft, Ottawa probably isn't picking Tyler Boucher at 10th overall either.
No, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks from that first round who have yet to play a game in the NHL.
And Chaz Lucius, if I'm not mistaken, he's the player that's retired, unfortunately, last season.
Correct. Still hasn't played a game in the NHL, though.
Still hasn't played, yeah. So that's a guy who's never going to play. Like Corson Kuhlman's was an AJ player with Brooks. Carson Lambos was a guy who was playing on those Winnipeg teams with Savoy, Benson, Geeky. Like, he clearly might have been just benefiting from that. But, like, obviously a huge mistake from the Oilers. Might even be an understatement. He's also only played 14 games in the league. Might be something to consider, considering that we all thought Stuart Skinner was the next Grant Fuhr after his rookie season. Things can change. I'm not trying to say what he is and what he isn't, but just like, let's let this play out. There is no doubt about it that the Oilers made a mistake.
And there's a long, long line of goalies who have great rookie seasons and then get figured out a little bit.
It's like the starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
You get a bit of film. It's like, we can just go to this spot and this spot and we'll just intercept him or we'll score more goals, whatever it may be.
Remember Steve Mason, his rookie season for Columbus, had a .916 save percentage with the Blue Jackets that year. He was unbelievable. The next year he was a .901, and then he was a backup for his entire career, and he played 476 games. He had himself a good career. He had a couple years where he went and started for Philly and had like some good seasons with the Philadelphia Flyers too. Like he had one year he rattled off a .928. Like, was unbelievable for him. But like, he never became a great goaltender. He was a good goalie. Someone said, Mulek says, look at Wolf. Dustin Wolf goes 9-10 his first year. He's down to an 890. They're playing the shit out of him. They're overplaying him. I don't know, man. Goalies are really hard to project year to year. And like, if you would have told even the most pessimistic of Oilers fans after Stuart Skinner's rookie season, when he pops off, and I'm talking about the year he played like his first full year.
Yeah. Was it 53 games?
50 games, .914 save percentage. If you would have told the most pessimistic of Oilers fans that, hey, the 23-year-old goalie, that's going to be his best NHL season, they would have said you're insane.
Yeah, they don't make a lot of sense. They really don't. I'm sure you could go through every draft and look at guys who they should have taken, shouldn't have taken. That one just, again, stings a little bit more because...
You don't think Detroit Red Wings fans are sitting there being like, shit, why did we take Kosa? Why didn't we take Wallstedt? They picked 6 or 7 picks earlier. And like, Kosa's good. That's not me being like, Kosa sucks. Kosa's going to be good one day. But like, the Detroit Red Wings were drafting a goalie in that draft and passed on Jesper Wallstedt to take someone else.
Yeah, you were kind of, if I remember correctly, we were all just kind of waiting to see if a goalie would even fall that far. Because there was another team too, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't Nashville. We all knew Nashville wouldn't because they took Askarov the year before. And he was 3 picks away from falling to Edmonton when they had Holloway. And I know there was smoke about Askarov coming to Edmonton. And we all assumed one wouldn't go in the top 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Arizona had their pick stripped.
Classic.
I remember seeing that actually happen in person. There was a couple of guys who were drafted, I think in this draft, not by Arizona, who I saw go down what the Coyotes got stripped for.
Yeah.
But anyway, St. Louis probably wasn't because Binnington, obviously the Rangers, so it must have been Calgary, Buffalo, and Detroit, I guess, if I'm remembering correctly.
Teams don't take swings on goalies in the first round all that much. Like, I'm going back through the last few years. If the teams that do, they kind of jar it more often than not. Like, I'm looking right now, 2019 was 2020 was Askarov. Okay, that looks like a great pick. I know Nashville fucked it up by trading the guy, but like, he's a legit goalie. Year before that would have been Spencer Knight. 2018, I don't think a single goalie went. 2017, I'm looking right now, 1 goalie goes in the first round. It's Jake Ottinger. Okay, turns out Jake Ottinger's really damn good. Like, I don't know, it's interesting that when teams do decide to take that swing, they're right more often than not. 2016, we did not have a goalie picked in the first round. 2015, okay, so this would be the last time that I guess a guy was, call him a bust, but Ilya Samsonov.
And even his first few years were solid, if I remember correctly.
They were good. Like, he had people believing in him. But again, even that, first couple years were solid and he falls apart. Like, goaltending's weird, man. And the other thing that's, like, so interesting about it, and, you know, this is why it's so risky even going out on the trade market for a goalie. If you go out and get you acquire a defenseman at the deadline, and they're good, but they're not what you thought they were. He's on your third pairing. He's playing 17 minutes a game. You'll notice the positives that he does. Like, you draft a guy in the first round. He's a right winger, and he doesn't turn into a top line player. He turns into like an average. He plays in your middle six, and he scores you 22 goals a season. Mm-hmm. Holy shit. You're happy with that. It's like, hey, there's a first round pick. Goalie, there's no room for, like, if you pick a goalie in the first round, it's like, you better be our franchise goalie or else you are a failure. It's a totally different set of expectations. And similar to, again, let's talk about trades. If the Oilers go get Tristan Jarry and he comes here and his first 4 games aren't that good, oh my God. It'll be a disaster. This fan will be, where's my meter? We'll be somewhere down here, way down by the ground. If the Oilers go and acquire Boone Jenner and he doesn't score for the first 8 games, we're not going to be sitting here being like, who is this bum?
Adam Henrique.
Well, right? Like, it'll be like, okay, he just eventually became a third liner and you learn to live with him and they re-sign him and whatever. Like,
yeah,
there's just so much. You need to be so right when you do anything with goalies. And I think that's what's obviously led to the hesitation that the Oilers have had over the last couple of years to, like, go and make that big splash, to make a Stuart Skinner trade. Because as much as we don't love Stuart Skinner, and I say we as like a collective fan base, a lot of people have turned on him. He is an NHL goaltender. We don't need to be going so far as to be like, he'll never play in the NHL after this year. He will. He'll get jobs. But there's just also never a guarantee that the guy you bring in is going to work in your system, isn't just going to fall off a cliff performance-wise. Like, we see shit like that happen. Look, everyone loves Dwayne Rollison, and they applaud that Dwayne Rollison move in 06. Go look at his regular season numbers with the Edmonton Oilers. He was horrendous after they acquired him in the regular season. And maybe horrendous is a touch of a stretch, but, like, he wasn't great in the regular season after they got him. He certainly wasn't the Dwayne Rollison that we all remember so fondly from that 06 run. But he turned on the Jets come playoff time. And I shouldn't even say he was horrendous the whole time. He started poorly, got hot towards the end, and then they made the playoffs. But, like, I don't know. There were some moments there after they acquired Rollison where I was like, what the hell? They give him a first-round pick for this guy? And then they go on a run.
Gordon makes a good point talking about Matt Tompkins. And he says, yes, goaltending is voodoo. Why not take shots on guys like DiPietro, Dawes, and Cooley, etc. this summer? This team has a great strategy. A great opportunity for a second, third string guy looking for a shot for cheap. But they did it with Pickard, and it worked out for them because they picked a guy who was legit like, okay, he's our third string goalie. Tompkins, I think you already kind of knew what he was in a way. Like, I have thought about that a little bit over the last couple of days too. It's like, look at the guys who went through waivers alone. I know you went and got Ingram, and that's might work out, might not, but it's like a project where, in the sense of like a DiPietro, it's like a positive project. It's like you have a 26-year-old guy who has the upside still. Clay Stevenson was another player, wasn't he, who went through. Even like the Devin Cooley, I don't think any of us really saw this coming. He's like probably the best in the league. I'll write up there, whatever his numbers are. But I agree in that sense, like maybe that would have been the better shot rather than going with a Matt Tompkins.
Okay, but like the only way you were, like, DiPietro was on waivers, Stevenson was on waivers, all that stuff. You claim him on waivers, you got to keep him up with your big club. So, like, it's
true,
right?
Guess,
like,
yeah, I suppose
you can, and you can say this with DiPietro, like, just go trade for him now. Okay, well, Boston's now on the spot. Like, they had to risk putting him through waivers. They're not going to trade him now. They want that guy to back up Swayman. They want to get Korpisalo out of there and save the money.
God goes on to say they need to look at their pro and amateur scouting for goalies. Whoever signed, well, I mean, a lot of those guys have moved on. He says Campbell, Koskinen, and Talbot over.
That's a different regime. Like, that has nothing to do with Stan Bowman right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, it's easy to be like, oh, they should have claimed DiPietro. Oh, they should have claimed Stevenson or whoever. Calvin Pickard coming into this year passed every test you put in front of him. He's failed this year's test miserably, and he has not been good enough. But coming into the year, the guy saved your season in back-to-back playoffs. and they love him in the room, and I roll my eyes at that a little bit, and I can understand why everyone else rolls their eyes at that a little bit, but like that's worth something.
It's not nothing for sure.
It's not nothing. And I just think, like, again, you can point to a DiPietro and a Dawes and whoever it is as the young guy in the project, but because you have to claim them and keep them with the NHL club, you don't want to be a team that's running 3 goalies. I know Carolina's doing it, but that's because someone's always hurt there. That's not even because they just want to run 3 goalies. I don't know. I just think it's more complicated than just being like, I should have claimed a good young guy and put him in the, like, couldn't have put him in the minors. It's a non-starter.
I just think maybe it should have been viewed as like, we kind of knew it was a worry and these guys are available. Let's take the shot. Push our goalies a little bit. They didn't. It is what it is. People pointed out before, Connor Ingram left the game the other day for Bakersfield. He did skate today.
Okay. So, again, I just feel like, you know that saying where it's like, you're always a week away from being a week away or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. It just keeps feeling like as we go on here with Ingram, since December, he's just like always 3 games away from being 3 games away, right? We look at the schedule and we go, okay, you can give Ingram a start here, and then you can call him up. And then we kind of get closer and it's like, okay, you can give an Ingram a start here, and then we can call him up. And it just feels like we're always pushing it down the line because maybe part of it's his play, right? Maybe part of it is what we talked about Doobie, though, where like at some point, if you're just going to sit here as the Oilers and continually wait for Connor Ingram to rattle off 3 shutouts in 5 games in Bakersfield so you can say he's ready, you might just be waiting all year. And Doobie kind of said some goalies are way better in the NHL than the American League because it's a different game. It's way more predictable for a goalie. And even an established veteran goalie who's used to playing in the NHL like Connor Ingram, it might be easier for him in the NHL than down in Bakersfield. But maybe you just need to at some point go throw him off the deep end here and see if he can swim for us. Because if you're going to keep waiting, let's wait till he wins 4 or 5. Let's wait till his save percentage goes up in the next few games. Like, you might just be waiting the whole time.
In November, Connor Ingram has 5 goals against, 4 goals against. Those were 2 starts at the start of the month. Mm-hmm. And the last 3 is at 2-3-2. Obviously, he left the game against Henderson, but he only had 2 goals against in that stretch. We'll see. I think they're just waiting for Pickett to blow up. That's the only thing I have to say on the matter. I think once he blows up again, hopefully he doesn't, because that means the Oilers, again, are losing hockey games, and we don't want to wish that upon them. But I could see it going in that direction.
I'm trying to get us a guest.
Right now?
Yeah.
Who?
The guest we talked about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he messaged me back.
Oh.
So I'm sending him the link and all that. Maybe we'll have a surprise guest for the people in a bit. We do have some roster news. Jake Wallman on the ice today, not skating with a partner. He was listed as the 7th defenseman at Oilers practice. But encouraging, he's been out the last 3 games. When we had Louis on a week ago, I was like, oh man, he was in a boot at one point. Sometimes the boot thing is like more of a precautionary, let's just try to speed up the healing thing here. But great to see that Jake Wallman is back on the ice. I doubt he's available tomorrow. They'll probably give him some time to ramp up here. But at some point on the homestand, it feels like we're going to get Jake Wallman back in the lineup for the Oilers, and that will be a nice boost.
That would be fantastic, because this blue line actually looked okay the other night. I think if you can throw Wallman into the mix as well, then that's a really solid addition. I just think Regula, although he was decent on Saturday, just isn't an everyday NHL yet.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with him.
He's a good number 7. And the other thing with Regula is, like, if he ends up being an effective number 7 for you at $775,000 this year and next, that's a good waiver claim. That was a project worth doing. Like, if he's serviceable and fills that role for you, like, thumbs up to that move.
Yeah, I would completely agree. They clearly saw something in him. I haven't seen it consistently enough yet, but he's worth giving a runway to, I would say. But I would still look to upgrade on him at the deadline. That's what I would think. And Jack Roslovic did not skate today. He was sat on the bench looking rather sad. Yeah, he was sad boy today, Jack Roslovic. So
looked kind of dripped out, though. The toque was cool.
I thought he was wearing a hood.
Oh, was it his hood?
I don't know. I could be mistaken. I thought that lineup was pretty solid anyway.
No, he's rocking a nice toque.
Was he? Must have been looking
cool
at the other
jacket.
Guy. People have brought up a little bit. Do you want to talk about Mason Marchment from the weekend?
So, like, what do we want to talk about with Mason Marchment? That he's exactly what Mason Marchment's always been?
I just thought he was funny at the start of the game, and like credit to him for going up to Zach Hyman, whatever, I guess. But then proceed to just be a rat the entire game.
But that's his job.
I know, but it just drives me nuts. So I think eventually it just gets to a point where it's like, oh, my team's actually losing the hockey game as well. Like, maybe I should do something about this, especially right at the end when Nurse is the one going at him. It's like, okay, I think this is when the code comes into it. The unwritten code.
Yeah.
So, okay, so Nurse got you got Nurse back. Fair enough. Nurse is hit. That was kind of a silly elbow from Leon. But then also to throw into that, the Hyman situation too from the playoffs. Again, he's just hitting Hyman. It's nothing crazy in that moment. We can all see what happens. Accidental play. Wrist breaks. Two others are just standing up. We don't know the story. I just think he gets to a point where it's like, maybe this is the moment. Game's over. There's 3 minutes left or whatever it ended up being. I think I should fight. I think we should both fight right now and put an end to this. Because now it's lingering over to Thursday, and maybe that was more of his plan as well. It's like, we know we're playing in a couple of days. Like, I'm already in these guys' heads. But I just think eventually something has to... You have to stand up for what you're doing.
Do you want to take a stab at how many fighting majors Mason Marchment has in the last 13 months? We can go even further than that.
Oh, then
Since November of 2023, so 25 months, how many fighting majors do you think he has?
I'll say 2 to 5.
One.
He
fought Nate Schmidt last November.
Oh my God.
And then you have to go all the way back to the November before that when he fought Ian Cole.
That's not even Nate Schmidt. What is the size difference there?
Yeah. But like that's what Mason Marchment is. And I do think Mason Marchment is a guy who he's the prototypical, love to have him on your team, hate to play against him,
He's a good
right?
player.
He's a good player. And when he's a rat and doing shit like that in your team's colors, you love him. Do you maybe sit there? And I like that the Oilers showed some edge. And listen, I called the Leon Draisaitl penalty dumb on Twitter.
It was dumb.
And people pushed back. But like, he came in and got one lick in on him and then pushed it too far. Like, you could have stopped after the one attempted elbow and probably gotten your point across. But I feel like there's a bit of the Oilers played into Mason Marchment's games. Like, what were the power plays in that hockey game? Like, the Oilers lost their cool a little bit trying to deal with Mason Marchment.
But then
granted, they were dominating the game. So in the third period, like, I have no problem in the third period with what they did.
I just think eventually you look at it too, and it's like, okay, Gaudreau fought, Ty Cartier fought.
Yeah.
Like, why do those guys have to stand up for the mess I'm making? You know what I mean? I think it's like, and I'm sure they really don't give a shit.
Well, that could be why Mason Marchment wore his welcome a little bit in Dallas.
Maybe. I don't know, maybe. But I just think you look at it and it's like, okay, you have two other guys fighting. Why can I not step up and fight for my mess? Like, you should stand up for yourself. That's kind of where I'm at with it. But again, like you said, he's a guy I'd love to have him on the Oilers. He's an absolute disaster on the ice in the sense of what the chaos he causes. Yeah. And he can play. Like, he's a good player.
There's a comment in here from, it's from Gord again, who's just dominating the comments today. He said, now that they won, Leon scored, the penalty's fine now. And you're right. Sure. In hindsight, no issue with it. Leon was playing with an edge, threw an elbow at a guy who was a pain in their ass during the playoffs and during this game. Sure. In the moment, they're up 1-0, and we're on the heels of Connor taking a bad tripping penalty in the first, which was a lazy one, a bad too many men on the ice call, and then Brett Kulak had 2 back-to-back penalties on Jared McCann. Like,
Lance
in the moment, it was annoying as shit.
We call for physicality and send a message, and even if you get a penalty and then they do it, it's called stupid.
No.
That in the moment was dumb.
Yes.
Because of everything else that had gone on in that. Like you said, you've had a parade to the box. Individual vacuum, sure, it's maybe not as silly, but in the moment, it's like, okay, like, you got your hit, and then you're giving another elbow to a guy who is clearly refusing to engage in all of this. And
if they're up 4-0 when Leon does that, I love it.
Yeah, who cares? The game's gone.
But like, they weren't up 4-0. They're up 1-0.
Putting your parade to the box, and I don't know. I just think a bit of game management would have been good there. But yeah, Leon came out, and it was pretty clear he knew immediately that he had made a mistake. And then you come out and you go and score a goal, so you make us all shut up.
And bank fine. One off Zach Hyman's skate.
Yeah,
just
show good leadership.
Mm-hmm.
Pause for effect.
Yeah. Connor Clattenberg, loved him. I don't know where this story goes this year with Connor Clattenberg. At the end of the day, let's all.
He should have scored. He should have scored.
I can't believe he didn't.
Yeah,
he had a wide open net. This is
Yeah.
a guy who has played 16 games in the American Hockey League and scored 1 goal. Racked up a shitload of PIMs, though. In his last season with Flint in the OHL, as again, we're talking in his 19-year-old season, where again, a guy who's drafted in the NHL should put up some points. He had 16 goals, 35 points in 46 games.
On what I believe it was a weak team.
Yeah, so like he finished. Here's a good one. He finished 7th on his team in scoring as a 19-year-old in the OHL. Liam, you're in the junior hockey scouting game. Those usually aren't guys who are making a quick leap to the NHL ranks. Maybe they get an AHL, ECHL kind of deal. But like he's gotten to this point because of his physicality, his tenacity, the energy he plays with. The reason I hesitate and why I say I don't know where this conversation goes with Connor Clattenberg is because he shouldn't be here. Like the quality of hockey player he is shouldn't have him here. But then as I say that, I go, whoa, Tyler, you're discrediting all these things that did make him a 5th round pick. Guys with his stat line don't get drafted.
No. The others are getting what they saw in him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And why I'm so torn, and I know I'm making kind of a disjointed point here, but like I sit here and go, in the next 10 days, he'll be back down in Bakersfield, and this will be a fun footnote. I also sit there and go, well, whoa, he does everything that you want a 4th-line player to do. He hits, he is physical, he goes to the net, he, for the most part, makes the most of his opportunities, and he will stand up for his teammates. He's not afraid to drop the gloves. And remember the conversation we had with Johnny earlier in the year, where he was talking about the differences between like Gabe Perreault and Noah Laba with the Rangers, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, Gabe Perreault is a better player than Noah Laba, but Noah Laba's ceiling is a 3rd or 4th line center, and that's the role the Rangers have him in. He slots into their roster exactly where his ceiling is. So if you want to talk about development, they're developing Noah Laba to be a good 3rd line center for them. Connor Clattenberg's ceiling is a 4th liner in the NHL. I think he could be a really damn good one, and probably someone who's a fan favorite in this city. But maybe he does stick because this is all you're developing him to be. If you have Quinn Hudson up here or Ruby Jarventi, those are guys who maybe one day you want to see them as middle 6 options, guys who you want them to bring some offense to the table at the NHL level. You're not hoping for that from Connor Clattenberg. Connor Clattenberg is passing this assignment with flying colors, goal aside. If he hadn't scored that goal, we'd still be saying this. So how can you, like, everything he does is effort-based, right? Like, that's what makes him successful. It's mindset and it's effort. If he continues to show the mindset and the effort, why would he ever not be in this spot?
I agree. He's a very unique case. But at the end of the day, you take him out of the lineup, the others don't show a lot of life. Mm-hmm. And you put him in a lineup, and you're right when you say, like, even if he hadn't scored that goal, we'd still all love him. But he did. And he found a way to be productive in a game.
And he almost had another one.
Found ways to be productive in a game where everyone was terrible.
Yeah.
And he was the guy that stood out. And he only played 9 shifts last game, but he did stuff. Well, like, that's a pile on the guy, but we may as well. Trent Frederick played 14 shifts, 9 minutes 25, and I couldn't tell you really one or two things that he did in that game. I'm trying to even think off the top of my head to be friendly to it, because I think Frederick is clearly a player struggling with his confidence right now. There's no doubt about it. But like, I would run this guy. I don't know how you do it when it's all said and done, but I think he brings a little bit of something. I think Lazar's done a decent job of bringing something. I think Janmark is coming to the team and bringing something outside of scoring goals. And to me, how is that not your 4th line going forward? I think Speck had a great tweet a few weeks ago when the 4th line, it would have been Howard, Tomasek, and whoever.
No identity.
And there's nothing. It's like these guys come out, and what did they finish with? Clattenberg had 6 hits, Frederick had 2, Lazard 0, for bad example, I guess, for him. But like, he has done stuff in games where he's like shown a bit of physicality. I like that line, and we all say over the summer, how can the others be more like Florida?
Yeah.
There you go. He found a way, and credit to him, and he deserves to be in the conversation.
Miganath said 9 shifts and 6 hits. That's exactly what I was going to say next. 9 shifts, 6 hits. And I saw a great clip, not to plug our competitors, but Jason Strudwick had a good line. And he said, like, what a compliment to a player to say, like, think about how much you noticed Connor Clattenberg. How many minutes do you think he played? And I honestly would have been like, oh, he was probably out there for like 9 or 10 minutes last game. Played 6 minutes and 38 seconds. And you noticed him almost scoring a goal, getting in a fight, laying a couple of big hits. And every time he's out there, he's buzzing. He does not take a shift for granted, which I think is a problem with some of these Oilers veterans, right? Is that it feels like, I'm not saying they're actually doing this, but it feels like they take some shifts for granted. Connor Clattenberg ain't doing that. And I don't think he's going to do that all year because he's 20 years old and he's got them young legs.
He can't afford to.
No, because he'll go back down to Bakersfield.
Yes, he'll be done. And I keep thinking in my head as well, the quote from Bowman at the start of the year is that when we call players up, we want it to be the first and only time they get called up.
Yep.
I think this situation is a little bit different due to the injury problems they obviously ran into.
Yep.
But I wonder if they just have that mindset being like, well, we want this guy. He's great. We all love him. And if you're other players on this team, if you're Lazar, if you're Philp, even Mark, just to throw his name in, because we've known he's been in some trade conversations. Like, you're like, I got to match this guy. You got to find a way. You really do. And
he brings other guys into the fight, no doubt.
100%.
Because you don't want to be, at least I wouldn't want to be if I was in this spot. I wouldn't want to be a veteran getting my lunch ate by some kid.
No. And do we have the Gaudreau fight? Like, I think it was pretty clear that Frederick Gaudreau had no idea who Connor Clattenberg was.
Yeah, no, he didn't do his homework. He thought, who is this kid? Never heard of him. I'll go with you. And he learned pretty quickly.
He found out. And then, credit to Regula as well for stepping up. I don't know. I would imagine he's not had many career fights. No. I know Brett's in the chat who does some work on hockey fights. Let us know, Brett, man. He stepped up and took some punishment, I guess we can call it. But he was worth doing it. And here we go. Here's the fight from Connor Clattenberg. I mean, what's
and again, you knew it was coming. 7 minutes left. Again, I think a veteran guy would be like 7 minutes left. We're up 4-0. I ain't messing up my hand for this. Also, what did Winterton want?
He wanted some smoke.
I guess, but like, what are you mad? Like, Connor Clattenberg didn't jump him?
You're hurt, my friend. Get off him. I would imagine that Ryan Winterberg sounds like the gingerbread man from Shrek. Hey, country bottoms.
You know what else would be a really motivating thing for Connor Clattenberg? His American Hockey League salary this year. So if he would have played the whole year, think about this math. If he would have played the whole year in Bakersfield, he would have made $80,000 US. In 10 days on the NHL roster, he's made right around $42,000. He has made half of his American League salary for the year in 10 days. I'd be fighting my own fucking team for a chance to keep making that kind of money. I would do whatever. If Chris Knobloch was like, hey, take your cup out and go kill a penalty, nuts out, I'd be like, sounds good. I'd like to keep my NHL salary. Like, you would do anything to be a 20-year-old making $4,200 a day to play in the National Hockey League.
100%.
So again, that's like you're telling me that's not a motivating thing? That's a guy who, if you would have asked him in August, hey, are you going to play NHL games this year? He would have been like, no. Right? Like truth serum. I'm sure he would have said, I want to go to camp and like show him what I can do.
Yeah. Make a point.
Yeah.
What he wants to do.
But the fact he's like, and he ain't going down until the next game. And I'd be stunned if he went down before the next game.
I think he's here till Christmas.
I think he's here till Christmas.
Because Kapanen being out now as well.
How excited are you as a 20-year-old? Again, you think you're going to make $80,000 US in the year. Like, good money.
Think of the gifts.
Yeah.
You can give this time of year.
But like, if he gets a month in the NHL, he's going to make like $150,000. He's going to like double his income for the year. What a story.
It's incredible. I'm sure it wasn't even like out of the question this year, just because we saw it that like Clattenberg was before everything started.
Yeah.
That he was in conversations like, I wonder if he needs some ECHL games before he plays in the American League. They sent down James Stefan, Jaden Grubin. There was one other guy. I know Akey went down for a game. That's not who I'm thinking of. But those guys had American League contracts and couldn't crack the American League roster. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if he was in those conversations. And now here he is playing on the big stage, just showing guys up. Like, I want Frederick to just see that and embrace it.
I think Brady Stonehouse is the guy you're thinking of.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. I want him to embrace it. You got a big, and hey, you know what? Like, maybe tomorrow night, if the Oilers can play well against the Wild, home ice, the crowd gets going when Clattenberg gets a big hit.
Yep.
Maybe Freddie can step up. And I know we're grasping at straws a little bit, being like, we need our American League call-up to help our 8-year deal guy. Well, honestly, we're at that point where it's just like, we
just
need
do it.
anything. So let's hope. I wouldn't send him down. He deserves to be. I'd move guys out to keep him here.
Mulek says, I need him to play against Seattle again so I can get a Clattenberg alternate jersey. Who'd you get? I don't know if I'd do Clattenberg. I do want one of the alternate jerseys.
I would do Clattenberg.
Would you?
Why not? This guy's amazing.
If I said right now, you can have any, Liam, for Christmas, I will buy you any Oilers alternate jersey and put it under the tree.
I would have Isaac Howard on my cream shirt. What did I say? Was it white or cream? I can't remember.
White, cream, and gray. Who knows?
I would go with Howard.
Really?
Yeah.
He's in Bakersfield right now.
That's fine.
Okay.
He's won one already.
Yeah, that's
He
fair.
scored a goal in it.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. I think he got a goal that night in Utah.
Yeah.
I think
maybe.
so.
I think so. They're also wearing these 3 times this month.
Good. They're great.
You know why? 3 games leading up to Christmas.
Grimace.
They just want to sell them.
Smart.
I have a toque with that logo on it. It is crisp.
He's great.
Clattenberg is going to sell a lot of jerseys in this town. Yeah, if he sticks around, can I give you...
Because it's a simple solution.
Yeah.
I've said this so many times. Hit and play hard and you'll be a fan favorite in Edmonton.
Can I give you my Connor Clattenberg Edmonton career arc? I thought about this on the weekend.
Okay.
So this year...
I need a picture of the whiteboard. Don't
This year, he's going to be, in and out of the lineup. I think he probably goes down to Bakersfield again at some point, but he's a good story in this season. Next year, he comes into camp. He earns the 4th line job, and he's a full-time NHLer next year. 3rd season, leading into his last year of his ELC. He's fighting guys. He's a fan favorite in the town. Like, Connor Clattenberg's a bit of an established name. Oilers give him a 2-year, $1.25 million deal.
Okay.
Tail end of the first year of that extension. This is now Connor Clattenberg's 3rd year in the NHL. He's starting to play some 3rd-line minutes. He scores 12 goals.
Oh, no.
2nd year. Oh, boy, he just clicked next to McDavid. Oh, my God, he scored 21 goals with McDavid in the back half of the year. 5x5 extension. We hate him by year 3. He's an Oiler for 7 years, but he'll live long enough to see himself become the villain on a bad contract. We've seen it too many times.
God, I hope that doesn't happen. He can score 21 goals,
You
but
can see it.
I could never. But the casual fan would never hate him.
No. And I'm being tongue-in-cheek with all of this, but...
The casual fan would never.
Yeah. Let's keep cruising along. Do we have Spotify comments from Friday? We have some. Let's get to some of our Spotify questions. It's brought to you by the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament coming up just a couple months from now, end of January, one of my favorite weekends of the year. Go to nationgear.ca to find out more. CHE Hockey, Jasper, Tourism Jasper, Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge, us. It's a great time. You need to come. If you haven't been, if you want to play some pond hockey in the mountains, join us. Head to nationgear.ca. All right. We'll give the people a new Spotify question. Here's a good one. Does Connor Clattenberg make it to Christmas? That's what we'll ask our Spotify listeners.
Sure.
Here's the comments we got the other day. Zentelman. Keep in mind, this is all coming, or most of it is coming, before the game on the weekend.
Yeah.
It's not only the goaltending, it's the defense making the goaltending look so much worse. Similar to Clattenberg looking like a big dominant presence because relative to everyone else on the team for that one game, he seemed like a monster in a timid group. We do not need to consider moving Stu, and we know the defense is, until we know the defense is up to par, they are not up to par. And that might be how the Oilers are thinking too. Like, Zentelman, I think you're kind of right. I think they want to wait until they're playing better in front of their goaltending. And if they start playing better and their goaltending starts sucking, then they will make a move, even if it's a lateral one.
Yes.
Shy. I'm not. They almost get me every time with this one. Happy to see a solid. Oh, they commented this one after the win. Happy to see a solid W this weekend. I changed up my pregame ritual from crying in the shower to crying before I showered.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's smart. You got to change up the juju. I'm going to withhold the right to saying we are so back until I see this more consistently and continue with my pregame ritual in the meantime. Also, I don't hate the idea of acquiring Jarry if we can keep Skinner in the tandem. That'd be great if we had a Skinner-Jarry tandem. I just don't think it's all that likely. Jay is in and says, so Tristan Jarry and Laurent Brossoit tandem? Maybe. Ryder said, boys, Willie's coming to Edmonton. Toronto's going to be miserable for McKenna. Oh, no, we're not acquiring William Nylander. I think this guy's commented that before. Yeah, no, they're not getting William Nylander. He might be Toronto's best player. So
is it Ryder from the Sauce?
Maybe. Shout out to the Sauce. Should we give some love to, and I think we're going to have a guest relating to this show on our show right away. No. Mark Kennedy can't do today. Okay. He's in an airport, so he's like, I can't do internet stuff.
Can you tell him congratulations?
I did.
Okay, good.
When I first messaged him, I said, hey, congrats on the Olympic berth.
Okay, good.
But anyways, a new show in our network, Off the Roster. You remember Cabby?
Yeah. Cabby from Cabby on the Streets?
Yeah. Cabby's a part of our network now. They're doing a new show on the Nation Network YouTube. It is a Toronto-based show with Cabby, Lindsay Dunn, and Dan Riccio. And I think we're going to have Cabby on at some point this week to talk about the show.
The Cabby.
That's huge, man. I used to love Cabby.
I love Cabby, yeah.
What do you mean used to? I still love him.
I was going to say.
I still love him. Yeah,
still
that's
love
big.
Cabby.
Also, too, our friends from The Sauce with Ryder and Lisa. So, obviously, we have Ryder on the show every Friday. And we'll have, moving forward, I guess we've had him on a few times.
Yeah, I think we're just kind of locking him in.
Okay, cool. They obviously do their show on the mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. on the Oilersnation YouTube channel. But we're going to give them, they have their own YouTube channel now.
Yeah.
So, we need you guys to subscribe to their new YouTube channel, which is now in the chat. If you are not subscribed and not watching the chat currently, it's called, believe it or not, The Sauce with Ryder and Lisa is our YouTube channel. So we'll leave a link in our description of the show as well to make sure you guys can go find it. But we got to get things moving over there.
Right now, they're at 55 subscribers. Mm-hmm. Can we get them? And listen, I'm seeing how many of you are watching the show right now, 622. Let's get them up to 150 before the end of the show for us.
Okay.
And if you guys do that, Liam and I will...
We'll find something for you.
We should figure that out. Yeah, I was trying to think of like what's something we could do in the moment, but I don't know. Anyways, let's get them up to 150 by the end of our show.
Our deepest, darkest secrets.
I'll tell you.
And Aaron, I'll tell you his deepest, darkest.
I'm not telling you shit.
There's nothing we can do.
Yeah, I was like, what is something like in the moment here, zany and quirky that we could do? But just go subscribe to their YouTube right now. Someone already said done.
Thank you.
No.
We're up to 66 already. Thank you.
Bang, let's go. Get them up to 150. Get them up to 150. We'll give away a Clattenberg jersey. No, I would keep a Clattenberg jersey if I could get my hands on one. Maynard says, I'll subscribe, but they're way too early for me.
Well, you can rewatch the show. Maynard does live in Vancouver, or BC, I guess. Yeah. So it makes sense. If you subscribe, you can come to the Sauce Christmas party where we'll have hot chocolate at the bank. That has been one of their bits. Also, how does Lance have time to consume all this content? I'm not sure. Lance, I feel like Lance might honestly be consuming multiple shows at once. Yeah.
Lance is my on the street, on the internet reporter.
Lance on the street.
Update me with what I get. Lance on the street. Shout out Cabby. He updates me with everything.
Yeah, let's try and we'll try and do a merch giveaway. Yeah. We'll do maybe a gift card to Nation Gear. I have no intel if I can do that, but I would assume that's probably fine.
We have Dog Patch gift cards too.
Okay. There we go. I'll give away some Dog Patch gift cards.
Someone said Lance has no job. Lance has a job.
Lance is a bricklayer. He was telling me about the bricks he's been that were laid up at Dog Patch when he was here the other day for our Nation Citizen. Thanks, Lance. My grandpa was also a bricklayer. In other news, whilst you guys are all subscribing to The Sauce with Ryder and Lisa, there was some positive news today in What's Trending. Do you want to go into What's Trending?
Let's go to What's Trending. It's brought to you by Oodle Noodle. You can take advantage of the value menu deal and get 2 green onion cakes, 5 spring rolls, or 6 deep fried wontons added to your order for just $2, any signature or premium box. Also, I think this is just a sale at the Oodle Noodle by my house, the one on Mistamin Way on the north end by the Cineplex.
What a name.
on the way back to St. Albert. They're doing a buy one, get one right now.
Damn.
I was not told to promote this, but I was driving by it today, and I was like, oh, shit, I know what I'm doing for dinner because I saw the buy one, get one sign. So shout out to, if you're in the north side or if you're in St. Albert, buy one, get one at the Mistamin Way, North Edmonton location.
Asher Barnett, friend of the show.
Friend of the program.
Invited to the U.S. national team's development camp for the World Juniors. I guess World Juniors camp, preliminary roster. He was invited, so congratulations to Asher. He was the Oilers' 5th round pick this past year, if I'm not mistaken. 131st overall, having a decent season with Michigan as a freshman. 8 assists in 18 games. He's not known for his offense.
Nope.
It's a really solid number for him.
Also, would love to see him make the team. Would love to see some Oilers prospects at the World Jays.
Be fantastic. Also, too, Aiden Park is on that team. He was the Oilers' 7th round pick. If you remember, he was in attendance for the draft. Yeah. He's also on Michigan here in 18 games. Has 5 goals and 9 points as a freshman as well. Also, 2 Penticton Vs on the camp roster. Jacob Kwasnika, who is a New York Islanders prospect, 7th round. And AJ Rayouts, who is committed to the University of Minnesota Duluth, who's a goaltender, I believe will be going because there's only 3, and typically they would take 3 goalies. Yep. So credit to him, both rookies, I think, this season. At least Rayouts is. So credit to those guys, credit to everyone, and congratulations to everyone who was announced at camp. Good luck to everyone. No Canada, I believe that'll be named, I saw, within 6 to 10 days.
Something like that. Right?
Which seems a bit late. Well, let's be honest. The World Juniors is at the end of the month, and we don't have a team announcement yet.
No.
Look, maybe it's just me, but Canada's not done so hot at the World Juniors the last few years. 2 knockouts in the quarterfinals, lost to Latvia last year, of course. Maybe start taking this shit a bit more seriously and get these camps rolling, get guys familiar with each other, and not doing it. Someone quote tweeted Mark DeMarco, I believe his name is. Marco DeMarco, who tweeted out that they'll also be named in 8 to 9 days. Sorry if I butchered your name, which I definitely did. Czechia's announced their roster December 3rd, and the US has already announced their roster, and I'm sure Sweden, I think I saw Sweden has too, and like here we are going to do it on December 10th. Feels silly.
Lance says, I don't watch a lot of TV, TBH. I listen to things while I do things at work, at home, in the truck. I am a listener. I'm sure your wife is appreciative that you're a good listener.
Lance listens to my thoughts a lot. We're at 90.
Happy anniversary, Lance, too.
Happy anniversary, Lance.
Lance is getting a lot of attention today.
The Sauce is at 90 subscribers. They will have a video with James Duffy going out today, too, from their chat with him the other day. He talked about his buck. He also talked about when Leon and Connor played in a men's league. We did talk about it on the show, but he goes into it in a bit more detail as well. So.
Aaron met Evan Bouchard this weekend.
Yes, I did.
How'd that go?
It was awesome. I know that we're a pro Bouch podcast, but he was actually cool as shit. He was normal. I made him laugh with one joke, complimenting his pass to Nuge. He said that was all Nuge. He said, I love that you're humble, but that was all you did. That was beautiful. Good time. Seemed like a good dude, trying to work slowly on getting to join ONE.
Yeah.
Couldn't push too hard.
Get there.
Made him laugh. Got out of there immediately. Mm-hmm. So successful interaction.
Well, chalk up one positive.
Drip
got
by,
one.
Drip by drip.
And Harrison Cates.
Yeah, we
working on Harrison.
One positive Oilers interaction for the Nation Network this weekend.
We're even.
Did you guys? Yeah, we're 0. Did you guys see the Devin Cooley VR thing from Hockey Night in Canada? Aaron, do you have it? Can you go pull it up on Twitter?
I did see it. It looks interesting.
Yes and no. I can understand it. I know this is something that has helped quarterbacks in the NFL. I just feel like their software is maybe a little bit more developed because I was watching the Devin Cooley one and I was like, I don't think this is helping you at all. One of the VR scenes that they showed was him in the locker room. I'm like, dude, you can go to the locker room. You don't need VR. And this, I'm like,
that's actually the Jasper Pond hockey tournament.
Yeah, it is. But I don't know. Again, I'm sure it helps warm him up to some extent. And I just got a really big chuckle out of this shot of him in the room. And I'm like, just go put your gloves on and go in the room. You don't need VR for that.
Hey, it's clearly working. Devin Cooley has a .930 save percentage in 10 games this season.
Yeah. And he has great post-game interviews.
And he does.
I don't love him. We're all going to die.
Yeah, but
nice, man. I know he has his whole spin on it, and he's like, that's why I'm so relaxed. And yada, yada, yada. But I just think that's a weird message just to be thrown out there after any interview. You're all dead. You're all gone one day. So irrelevant what you leave on this earth. That is not true. You can have a positive impact on every single day if you wanted to. And he just says it with a smile on his face. That just weirds me out.
Do you think I would like if I bought myself like the PlayStation VR thing? Does anyone have it? Is it fun?
I don't really play video games. I play Jurassic Park and that's about it. I love world building.
I play a lot of Madden right now.
Yeah, I'm so bad at those games. Also, too, like, I'll play one game. I'm like, damn, that was an hour. And then I just think, I could have done something else. But then I just scroll on my phone and think, I'm just going to leave this world with no impact.
Like Devin Cooley.
Like Devin Cooley.
Mm-hmm. Someone said the dance bet in What's Trending. I just thought this kid dancing was so funny, and I was feeling good about the Oilers.
He's a
hell of a dancer. Look at this kid. Do you guys think I can pull this off? Yeah. He's got drip.
No, I don't think you could pull this off.
You don't think I can dance that good?
I'm certain you cannot. This guy is a professional. Look at those hips. It's like Shakira.
You could do that.
You can do that? Oh, God.
I said I'm leaving the room if Tyler does this because I don't know if I can look at him the same.
Better hope the Oil don't win 8 in a row, boys.
How about that one guy that's been going around recently at his wedding doing the dancing? Have you guys seen that one? His name's like Tap something. I can't remember what it is, but it's a Pitbull song. And him and his groomsmen, I would assume, dance to the bride. It was very interesting.
No, I'm not going to dance right now. VR golf from Kale is awesome, Tyler. See, if I could VR golf in my living room, I'd spend a handful of dollars on that. But then someone else said it's good for shooting games right now, but it's not good for sports games yet. So now I'm a little bit more hesitant.
I just feel like I wouldn't be able to play if I was in VR. Like I would have to move. Like I can't just stand in one spot. I want to be in it. You know what I mean?
Not really.
Well, like, if you're playing...
You don't just want to stand in a circle and wave your arms?
Yeah, it's like the Wii. Like, I never got into the Wii because I didn't like... when I play tennis, I like to move. You know what I mean? Like, I'm chasing the ball this way, that way. When I'm playing baseball, I'm running around after I get a base. I'm not just standing there. I'm running the first.
Yeah, but it's a video game.
But you want to play VR in a video game. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to do. Like, if you're playing hockey, like, how do you not, like, try and get around again? You know what I mean? Next thing you know, you're running through walls.
Yeah, okay.
It's like when the Wii first came out and nobody had they didn't think about getting straps for people and you're playing your remote through the TV.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
My dad broke, like, our basement ceiling, like, joist wall serving in Wii tennis.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was doing it so legitimately and just smashed the remote, smashed that. Shout out the Wii.
All right, boys, let's wrap up the show with our Bet365 segment. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Our NFL parlay smashed again. We are up 10.71 units on the year on this bad boy. We're rich.
We know the NFL better than the NHL.
Somehow.
I wish I was actually betting these.
I bet this week.
I just forget. But we did it.
I do it in the moment because otherwise I'll forget.
I should do that next week.
We're up 10.7 units. Like,
we had a good week.
Well, there's only like 6 weeks left in the regular season. Like, we're guaranteed to finish profitable with this bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow, we are.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
Clinch profitability. Tonight, 5-game slate in the NHL. I like the over between Winnipeg and Buffalo. And then because I'm going to be watching the NFL game as well, I'm going to go Hunter Henry 30 yards and the over between Buffalo and Winnipeg.
Drake made 200 pass yards as hit in every single game this year.
Interesting.
Minus 425. But just throw it in. It's going to happen.
Drake MVP. There's not many good teams in the NFL. I'm kind of over the season.
Yeah.
The Lions suck.
I was going to say, does that have anything to do with the Lions?
Yeah, they're bad. They're a very bad offensive team. I don't care what the stats say. If you watch the games, you'll see that Jared Goff is playing awfully.
Yeah.
And the play calling is terrible. And then we got that guy back, Frank Ragnow. And then he told them, did you see this story?
Yeah, I did.
He told them that he had his hamstring felt bad when he was going into his medical. And then it turned out he had a grade 3 hamstring tear.
Which is like disgusting.
Yeah, it essentially means it is not on the bone.
It's falling off the bone.
Yeah. So I don't know how this guy's just been walking around being like, oh, like,
I'm good to play in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm good. Oh, like, just good to do your day-to-day life. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, here's your medical history. You have no hamstring.
Wild.
Also, the Bears also suck. I could care less what anyone says. You're winning games, and Caleb Williams is playing terrible. He's going to be bad. You guys are losing in the playoffs, and we all know it. Your record is a fraud. The Patriots' record is frauds. The Colts' record is frauds. Everyone's record sucks because there's no good teams in the NFL. I've come to that.
Hey, you play who you play.
You play. And there's
Also,
nothing
Brett,
you can
the
do
Patriots
about it.
have one more win than the Bears. They're not the best team in the NFL. We're 10-2. You're 9-3. Do math.
The NFL is in a bad spot because there's no good quarterbacks. There's some, obviously, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
it does feel like a very down year.
oh,
for the
it's
NFL.
terrible. It's so bad.
It's just wide open. There's no dominant team. That might make the playoffs fun, though. There might be like some really good games because teams are close.
Maybe.
I like a little bit of parity in my life.
Maybe the worst season
Are the Bills back? Because they look good. Josh looked good.
No, they're not back. They also suck.
They might.
We all suck.
They don't suck.
We're going to leave this world with no
They're
purpose.
8-4. All right, sounds good, Liam.
Switched.
Well, tomorrow's a game day edition of the show. Jay will be down. Louis will be here, so we'll have DeBrusque and Downton. And
Double D.
a full game day preview of tomorrow as Edmonton will look for a tough win against the Minnesota Wild. That's a wrap on today's edition of the show, though. Everybody, appreciate you tuning in. Have a good Monday, and we'll chat with you tomorrow. Noon Mountain, oil up. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.